Well, look at that. We already got a couple people here. That's awesome. I don't know. Maybe I hope I wasn't live before I was live. I was eating dinner, so hopefully, hopefully I wasn't live. Mike's here. Dave is here. According to what I can see. Oh, now we're down to ones watching. I don't know who's here. I gotta go get my tower heater though. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. All right. All right. Heater's on. Dogs in the house. That's all we need to worry about. What's everybody up to? How we doing? It's only been, geez, I think the last tractor talk we did was, oh man, probably June of last year, maybe. Crazy Dave, what's going on? How you doing, man? How's stuff up north? Or out, well, I guess you're really not up north, maybe more out west than north, but anything. But Tim, Evan, what's going on? How we doing? Sounds like we got more sub-zero weather coming our way. We had a 2-day warm up to about 30 degrees, and then bottom's going to drop out again. Jason says it's snowing in Lower Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Yeah, it was snowing here for a little while today, but Owen, what's up, Owen? How you doing? Glad you can make it. Nice truck. David Saul's in the house up there at Sandhill Carbs. Working like crazy. More Arctic stuff coming. Yeah, I hear you. Hyatt's in the house. Here we are. I figured I'd start a little early. I know I said 6:45, but since I got to be up at 4:15, maybe I should do a day in the life of Kizzle video. Maybe that'd be a big hit. Obviously, I can't take my camera inside my first job, but let's see. Just getting caught up here. Cleaning a lot of hider parts. Yeah, Dave, I haven't even been over to your channel lately. Last time I seen you, I think maybe had it running a little bit, but that's about it. So I don't know if you're posting videos on that thing or not. I've been so busy, man. I can't barely keep up with Squatch's stuff, let alone everybody. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, and if you guys haven't hit the members subscribe button for the membership on Squatch's channel, I highly recommend doing it. A lot of great videos in the members, and it's only $4.99 a month. So it's a cup of coffee a month to support Squatch. You know, that's the way I look at it. And I don't even drink coffee. So Evan says, got 8 inches here night before that. I wish we could get them kind of snowfalls. We just get, you know, I think the biggest snowfall so far we've had this year was maybe 6 inches, which is unheard of. Usually we have a walloper, you know, but March is the snowiest month, so we'll see what happens. Mr. Stubb, what's going on? How you doing? Hunting and stuff is in the building. All right. Brent is in the building. Sunny and 75 in his mind. Yeah, no kidding, right? Dave says he hasn't posted in a while. That's all right. I know how it is, man. That's why I haven't opened up the membership option on my channel, because I feel like you need to be able to at least put out one video a week for the member side of it. and then to keep the interest in the channel from people that, just choose not to do the membership, which is fine. You should probably post a video every other week, so you're doing consistent stuff for the paying members, and then trying to give consistency to the people that watch your channel and support you otherwise. So I know how it is. It's tough. I'm rambling already. Iron Man is in the house. All right. Not much going on here. Other than working. Right now the prison's been crazy. COVID is crazy in there, and I think I got tiger blood from the last time that I had COVID, so I'm probably doing all right. And then Rudy's shop, he's still recovering from rotator cuff surgery, so Rudy's shop has been busy. So I'm there 4 days a week after work, and it's. I think last week I did almost probably 65 hours. So, and I had vacation Thursday or today and yesterday and today. So, I wasn't working at Rudy's or at the prison, but it's been busy. That's for sure. Like, we got a snowfall over a week ago, and I didn't shovel my driveway until, there really wasn't enough to snow blow, and I didn't shovel my driveway till Friday, and that was snow from over a week ago. Which mag is at Rudy's, Dave? Is it the one for the hider? Yeah, rest is a it's secondary to everything that needs to happen around here. But okay. A Dixie 46. Well, the tough thing with those, like Rudy, right now he's doing as much as he can in the shop, but his shoulder is still healing and still working on it. So he's still limited on what he can do. But David's heading back to the shop. Got a lot of sandblast coming. Sandblast sand. See you later, Dave. Thanks for stopping by. I just finished dinner too, so. Connor's in the house at This Old Farm. Connor. If you guys haven't checked out the channel Shop Time with Dave, make sure you do that. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments on the side here. But make sure you check out Shop Time with Dave. He just had to put an engine in one of his vehicles, and he's the one that machined the cup for the Super M, for Connor's Super M to pull those sleeves. He also did the memorial plaques for the Suicide Awareness H. He did those, those nice billet plaques. So he puts all that stuff on his channel. Make sure you go check that stuff out. I know there's so many of us out here that do have channels and post stuff, and it is very hard to keep up with each other and watching videos, and it becomes a job in itself just watching YouTube. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll sleep when we're dead, right? Evan's out of here. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Evan. Apache Heaven Farms is in the house. Good to see you. I had a dream. I was telling Rudy today, actually. I had a dream that I got we got the John Deere E hit and miss engine running. So I texted him today. We were talking about some magneto stuff and kind of working on the week, but I was talking to him and I said, yeah, I had this dream about this John Deere E, and he's been kind of getting after me about it lately a little bit, but we need to clean the crankcase out. But what I told him what we should do is just every day I'm over there, we'll just pick one part, and after I'm done with a mag or a carburetor, I'll clean the part and we'll put it in a box and put it away. And then come springtime, all the internal parts will be clean. So all we have to do is clean the block, then assemble it, and it's good to go. So that won't take any time at all. We can have that thing assembled in a couple hours probably. My old roommate Jess is in the house. One of my good buddies, all the way from Texas. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hey, not a big deal, man. I know. Trust me, like I was just saying, it's tough to keep up with all the channels, and because you have so much you want to watch, because you're into so many other. It's almost like you're a part of the project that you're into so many other people's stuff. So addicted to it, But right now, I'm working on Connor's from this old farms. I'm working on his Super M to get it up to snuff. We thought it was a timing issue, and boy, was it a timing issue. um, Basically, everything in the inside of the engine, minus the connecting rods and crankshaft, were pretty much junk. So she was well wore out. Ready for tractor show season. Shoot, man, you got to give me. I just want warmth, and then I want to get these projects out of the way, and then tractor show season. But I'm ready for it, but I'm not ready for it. Hey, Connor, don't worry about it. I know life gets in the way and work gets in the way, and I like to give you crap. Just reading the side comments here. Yeah, it was pretty cool when Connor won that tractor, and that was, I knew I was going to get some people coming at me, but I don't know how I could have made it any more honest. I mean, the bin was right here, literally. I actually watched that video not too long ago, and I thought, well, I kind of shrugged it off, the people that hated on it. But if you're doing something right, you're going to get haters, I guess, right? That's what they say. So, yeah, Connor, I don't want to give any secrets away. So, oh, look, you just did. Connor's trying to find a Farmall Cub. So if you guys know of any Farmall Cubs that we can get over to Connor for a reasonable price, I know he's looking for one to cultivate, maybe get a single bottom plow, maybe, I don't know if he was going to get a blade for it or not, a push blade or belly blade, but no, I haven't. I haven't been over to Rick's channel in, geez, probably a couple weeks at least. I just been, when I'm not working, I come home and then I eat a quick meal and I'm literally laying down. I mean, it's been like that for a while. So it's, I'm up at 4:15 every day. I should do that. I should do a day in the life of Kenny video. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I mean, it won't be posted tomorrow, but I'll start making it. So just finished the McCormick Deering 1530. Man, that's a cool tractor. Isn't that the kind of the predecessor to the 2236? Didn't Wasn't there like a process and when they changed their horsepower or something, how they measure horsepower, and then they re-rated it from a 1530 to a 2236, if I recall. Maybe they did some other updates to it too, but I thought it was essentially reclassified, I guess you could say. Jason's putting 5,000 altitude pistons in the F20 this summer. That's pretty sweet. You can really crank, those F20s. They sometimes make better pullers than H's. You can crank some pretty big cubes out of them, and they're so simplistic. Brent was scared he was going to win and then have to decide who to give it to. Hopefully these lights, I mean, on my screen, they don't look like they're too bright for you guys, but if they are, I can do something. I don't know. Kevin, hey, thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you can stick around for a few minutes, but it's good to see you anyhow. Hyatt's reading Rachel Gingel's book, Farmall Cub Encyclopedia. That'd be a good one for all you cub enthusiasts. I'm sure Rachel's got a great channel too. So it's not beer, it's Fresca. I don't really drink hardly ever, so maybe at a wedding once or twice a year. Other than that, I don't have time. I don't have time to drink. I don't have time to be hungover. I have too much to do. Plus, my family history is not good with alcohol. I'll just say that. So I do not. Especially ever since my daughter, I don't drink. But Craig is in the house. Craig just saved a few a few tractors from the scrapper. So Ugly Alice wants to know if I'd plan on getting an Alice in the fleet. Um, Maybe. I'm not real big on Alice, and I'm not real big on Fords. Although when I drove that one out in Colorado over at Tractor Hoarder's place, Hans at Tractor Hoarders, um, that Ford actually was like, I really liked it. Super quiet, smooth, but I never was really partial to them. If I were to get an Alice, there is one that I do really like, and it's the Alice UC. That's an early model. It's probably comparable to like a Farmall F20 or regular, but I really think them things are kind of unique. So I wouldn't mind having one of them. Mike wants to know if I had to have another tractor project right now, what would it be? Well, if I wanted to knock something off my wish list, it'd be a Spoker D, John Deere D. The Spokers were only built from 23 to 25. And then it was the nickel hole, and then it was just the later model pre 1930s D, and then they made displacement changes and all kinds of other things, transmission, PTO, stuff like that. But Spoker D is the earliest version, and I'd really like to have one of those. But without getting another tractor, I would have to say my Case SC that needs to be torn down, and probably do a GoFundMe for it because I've had a lot of positive feedback, and it'll be the only Case SC tear down from front to back and reassembly on YouTube. So that would be really cool because there's not much out there for Case SCs as far as YouTube goes. There's really not much at all. Fresca actually isn't pop. I didn't even know that till like a couple months ago. It's sparkling soda water. So yeah, no, I mean it's super not bad for you at all. It's really only got about salt and potassium in it. That's it. Otherwise, it's just water and flavoring. So that's why I drink it to try and keep my figure. Yeah, I'd really like to have a John Spoker D, because I never really got to work on it. Plus, it's been one of my dream tractors since I was a kid. So the D that I had a while back that went over to Barrett, he's in Wisconsin. That was a 1928. So the only thing really special about that was it still had the short fuel tank on it, because after I think like midway in 28 they went from a smaller fuel tank to a little bit larger capacity fuel tank. So other than that, there's not much unique about it. Just that it's a pre 1930, and I just like the D's from before the 30s. The steering was more archaic, and it didn't have a steering gearbox on it. It was all open worm gear and sector gear and everything. But only a 2-speed transmission, slow and slower. But the later ones, they had 3-speed transmissions. Hans is here from Tractor Hoarders. All right. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up. 1928 Farmall Ben is here. All right. Ben is in the house too. I'm just getting caught up. Well, I'll tell you what, Craig, if you look at like parting it out or something, I might be interested in the pump and whatever else it's got on it. But I always wanted to take a pump and a reservoir off of a Super M, a Stage 2 Super M, and mount that, but I don't I don't have the money. Plus, I should have put, like I said earlier when we were talking, I should have put that heavier duty cam gear in there when I rebuilt it. But oh well. Nothing gets slower than a regular. I don't know, man. Riding on a half scale 65 horse case steamer, that's pretty slow. Wow, we got 26 people watching. 27, that's pretty awesome. I just noticed that. I'm just trying to read through the comments here. Yeah, when I bought my F20, I was actually looking for a regular, but I just couldn't find anything around here that it was, in a good enough shape that I could repair it or get it running without too much money. Because at the time, we didn't have much money for tractor hobby, and I can tell you that. But Bob's in the house. He's working on a Super A, doing a full rebuild of the engine on a Super A, and then cosmetic restoration too. I would probably in your new engine. I mean, some people say don't run multi weights in a brand new engine. Just run straight 30 because it has something to do with polymers and the multi weight. I've heard getting into the cross hatching in the cylinder sleeves and glazing the sleeves, and then you don't ever seat your rings properly. But I don't know, every tractor I've had except for the John Deere A, I've always put multi-weight oil in, from when I rebuilt it. So I use 15W40 Rotella because it's got all the, as as Derek on Vice Grip Garage goes, is it has all those dinosaur vitamins that you need to lubricate the engine properly. But the biggest thing I learned from my cousin, the one that's rebuilding the Peterbilt, is the engines that have flat tappets really need the zinc in the oil to help lubricate the tappets. So I would just put 15W40 Rotella diesel oil in it from the start. But in your air cleaner, just put straight 30 weight oil. Buy a quart of straight 30 weight oil, and that'll go in your air cleaner. So Hans is keeping his eyes peeled for a Spoker D. Well, if you find one, you might have to buy it and put it at your place, and then when I save up the money, I can buy it from you. But by that time, we both know that it's not going to leave your property because you'll be addicted to it. So then I'll have to find another one. So, see, I already know how this is going to play out, Hans. I already got it figured out. Justin's in the house. What's going on? Sorry, I'm just catching up here at the bottom, but Jeff's here, Justin's here, Jason's here. I thought I saw Jason. Jason 1PA, maybe not. Ryan's in the house. Oh, man. I can't believe how many people are watching. This is crazy. I don't think we've ever had this many, but it's pretty cool. Exactly. Zinc. Lots of zinc. So 15W40 Rotella. In my Harleys, I would run 20W50, but I ran AMSOIL in my Harleys. So, but that's what the engine calls for, especially these newer ones. The older Harleys, shoot, you could run anything over 20 weight in them probably if you were in a pinch. But I'm talking like the shovel heads, iron heads. I wouldn't run lower than 30 or 40 weight in them, but if you're in a pinch, you could run. Heck, that's any engine. If you're in a pinch and you need emergency oil, well, some oil is better than no oil. So yeah, to recap, keep an eye out for a Cub for Connor and a Spoker D for Kenny. Well, like I said, Spoker D it'd be awesome, but man, you can't get into even just a complete Spoker D for probably under $5,000. So you're talking 15 to 25,000 for one that's in great shape or restored. And some of the really early Spoker Ds bring like hundreds of thousands. But those are the very first few made. So both the studs on the bottom of the radiator broke on the M. Yeah, that's probably one of the worst designs that International did was those radiator studs on the H&M. But I don't have a good answer for you. It's tricky because you don't want to heat them up too much because those stud plates are soldered in to the bottom of that radiator tank. So if you heat them up too much, you can melt the solder, and then yeah, it's a crappy deal. I don't know if anybody's got any tricks to getting broken studs out of those H or M radiator bottoms, but I sure don't know of any. Do I have interest in a Waterloo boy? Well, yeah, I would take a Waterloo boy any day, but those are easily 80,000 plus to get into one of those. Or at least I've seen them go easily way over 100,000. So actually on Facebook, I just saw somebody's looking to get a value on a barn find Minneapolis Moline UDLX, which the highest I've ever seen one sell for is $200,000, which is insane. And it's crazy because they were built just down the street, just down in Minneapolis, and Hopkins. I'm just getting caught up on Mr. Stubb, yeah, that is Paul. Paul and Mike, GMC Cracker Box, oof, GMC Cracker Box truck, Mike, is in our tractor group with Paul. So, and Paul is Mr. Stubb. I don't get out much. Can you tell? I'm like giddy just to be on this thing talking with you guys. So I figure we'll probably go till 7:30, 7:45 at the latest. Bigfoot used to bring multiple tractors to Nowden and Almland. I saw, was it Oliver's you did a lot of? I think. Yeah, Richard's probably got some tricks for getting the studs out. He's got such a good channel too. You know, the ways that he fixes stuff and gets things running, and with it's just it's a good channel. Frugal, but that's all you need to be to work on this stuff. That's how it was designed. Guys with frugal living. Not saying that he is frugal, but it's just the simple tools that he uses to fix stuff is really great. So. Yeah, those UDLXs, I'd be willing to bet that this thing, it's got to be valued even in the condition it's in. It's missing a lot of glass, which is next to impossible to find. You pretty much have to have it made. And I bet you this is going to go for 50, 60,000 easily. The one that was just on Facebook. Holy cow. An LS6 El Camino sold for 260,000 at Mecum. Holy cow. That's crazy. No, I have a 30-second delay on my chat or something like that. I have it set to 30 or 60 seconds delay, or slows it down so that I can keep up with the chat itself. Did I hit the wrong button? Bigfoot? I think you tried to send a picture. Try sending it again. I might have hit the wrong button. Whoop. There we go. I see what you're talking about now, Connor. What the heck? Somebody tried to send a picture. Oh, Craig. He's got all the sheet metal for your Massey, Ben. Holy cow, you got 40 Olivers with some cock shutting whites, huh? That's a lot of tractors. You either got a really big building or you got more than one building. Yeah, Ben, you better get that address over to him so you can get that sheet metal out to you. See, isn't this amazing? Just the power of YouTube and Facebook. You can find stuff anywhere in the world that you didn't think you'd have any shot at finding. I don't get antique power. I should get that because, well, for me, it'd just be a stack of wish lists piling up. But I've looked at it. I've thumbed through it. I think Tractor Supply, I think, sells them off the shelf. I think. Maybe not, but I've looked at something similar if that's not the exact magazine. All right, I gotta head over to Bigfoot's channel. I just want to see what he's got. Oh wow, you got a bunch of videos. Cockshots, whites, Oliver. Oh, here's a our collection video. I'm gonna have to look at that one. You know what Oliver I would really love to have is a Hart Par 70. I would love to have a Hart Par 70. Go check out Bigfoot's channel. It's a pretty sweet looking channel. He's got a bunch of looks like he actually farms, other than people like me who just play farm when when we can. But I'm more of a rancher than a farmer. I don't know much about farming. I not much at all. A little bit, but not much. Think of all the lives I touch here. I don't know if I'm touching any lives, but I'm trying to at least spread a good hobby around. We didn't when I was growing up, when I learned how to do this stuff, it was mostly manuals and once in a while if you could get your mom off the phone so you could use the internet because that's what you had to do back then you could get on yesterday's tractors forums or smokestack forums. But that's it's no different than a manual. That's how you're just reading information. But a manual, at least, or in the forums, people will tell you how to do stuff, though. Manuals just tell you what to do. So that's, these YouTube has really created an awesome thing for us to be able to do this stuff. Just reading some of the comments again. Yeah, need to know anything about farming? Look at Connor and Squatch's channel or Millennial Farmer if you want to look at big scale farming. I mean, he's got a huge channel. Um, Farm All Fanatic, he's got a good channel. Does a bit of farming on that. Rick Bork, I mean, Rick does all kinds of different types of farming and work. So yeah, I really love the Hard Par 70s, man. They're really cool tractor. Let's do a bit of relaxing here. Found a clutch hub for a Waterloo boy on Facebook. That is awesome. Although, if it came off of an English tractor, those were called the overtime tractors, which they're the same thing. They were just built in England, if I remember correctly. See, I got a little bit of knowledge up here. Not, I mean, there's less and less every day, but it it's in there. It's bouncing around. The rocks are rolling. So when I see stuff, I recognize stuff that I've read about it. Yeah, the English version of the Waterloo boy was called the overtime tractor. There's actually a couple of really good John Deere documentaries on YouTube. But when I rebuild the SC, am I planning to repaint it? I'd like not to. The engine will have to be repainted, but I'm gonna try and. I mean, because it's already got a fair amount of scratches and stuff in it. Because I use it. You guys see me on the channel using it. All these tractors, they're meant to be used. Even the Suicide Awareness H. I want to get that out at some plow days and and plow with them flags flying, and tell some stories. And um, that's a I'm still blown away at how nice of a job that we were able to do on that. It ain't perfect, but for doing it in a 2-car garage, I mean, it's by far the nicest tractor I have ever done. So, and I'm sure there's things that I did wrong, and you know, someday I'll probably have to fix something because of something I did wrong, but I did it with the best knowledge and the best help that I had. So, you guys were the best help anybody could ask for. So, Craig, I hope so. I hope the SC videos help because, like I said, there's nothing out there for SC teardowns and rebuilds, and especially for things like the motor lift and the transmission. There's nothing. Brent's after you now, Connor. You're in trouble. Even if Connor had the parts here, we'd still need the time. I still have to get the hydraulic reservoir off from underneath the tank because we're gonna have to disassemble that and clean that out too. And he really needs hydraulic hoses for supply and return lines. These ones are in rough shape. Yeah, the H, I plan on having it in a plow day. Disking, plowing, whatever. I don't care. It's meant to be used. It's got a hitch for a reason. Front axle off of a 3570 Minneapolis. Wow. That's a lot of cribbing to put underneath that tractor. A lot of railroad ties. Seeded 40 acres of rye to possibly do a plow day. All right, sweet. The only thing that limits me on plow days is, you know, I've got a friend as nice as Domino, and he lets me use his truck and trailer, but you know that it's not cheap right now to drive a 454 gasser pulling a tractor. 8 miles a gallon is not exactly ideal. So I'm limited right now on what I can do with that. But if it's something close by, I mean, like Connor's stuff is out in now then, and I would go to Squatches up in central Minnesota. Did I ever get my carburetor figured out on the F20? Last I remember, I was still having problems with it. You know what? I did figure it out, but not before I sold the tractor. Um, there's a hidden passage in those carburetors, and I found it while working on a customer's carburetor at Rudy's. So by this time, I had already sold the tractor, and it was a passage that may or may not have been plugged up. But if it was plugged up, then it would have caused those issues that I was having of a very rich idle and things like that. So um, no, I didn't figure it out on that carburetor, unfortunately. But I did post a video a while back of that tractor out in Colorado pulling at a pull. So the guy that does have it, he did tell me I got a hold of him at some point, and he did tell me it needed a little work, but he got it running, and shoot, man, that thing pulled like a freight train. All right, Iron Man, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Would I own a Caterpillar? Yeah, I would take a Caterpillar. I think it would have made clearing this land back here a heck of a lot easier. Back behind my house. West of Isani. Well, shoot, you're not far at all. Keep me in the loop, man. Let me know if I'm invited. I mean, if I'm not invited, then hey, have fun. Friend used a sawmill to cut some logs to crib it with. Yeah, that thing, that's a big machine. Minneapolis 3570 is a big machine. Well, Connor, at least, that MD can sit. Not a big deal. At least you've got the M, you've got this Super M, you've got two H's still, right? I think you still got Cushing H, which if you had to, you could use it, I think. But it just wouldn't be the most ideal. Just sent me a Facebook friend request. Let me get over there. Oh, Ross, all right. Hey, wait a minute. What is your logo on that's in your profile picture? Yeah, I bet you Squatch could hook me up with a cat. But like I said, right now, for one thing, I can't be buying any tractors. Second thing is, if I were to buy a tractor, I want to start getting some of the items on my bucket list, like the Spoker D and a Hart Par 70. I'd really like to find those two, and then I should really look at getting another Minneapolis. I don't really have any desire. I mean, an unstyled G would be great, but with a Spoker D, who needs an unstyled G? It's the way I look at it. So, but I do miss, man, do I miss that sound. That John Deere sound is just something else. Hey, Kevin, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Nice to see I'm live and alive, right? Hackney Autoplow. I've never even heard of that. I'm going to have to Google that. Wow, that is something. Yeah, I can't buy any more tractors, but if I did, you know, and my ultimate goal, I haven't really set on a steam engine someday. Um, Steam engine to own is your friends, because they have all the maintenance and everything, but they just want you to operate it for them. Which, I mean, there's some truth to it. You got to have a steam engine. You got to have some serious financial backing. So, but I'd love to build if funds were not an issue. If I had unlimited funds, I would love to build like a half scale 150 case horse or 150 horse case if I had just piles of money, but I don't. So maybe someday I'll own a steamer, but I'm gonna work on getting my boiler's license though, and you guys are gonna get to go along with me on that ride. I'm going to steam school at Rolog in June, so you guys are gonna get because I've already okayed it with them. I'm bringing my cameras with, and you guys will get to come along that for some of that journey. So yeah, I don't really have a need for a Caterpillar, but it'd be cool to have one though. Actually, I'm one of the only people other than Squatch to drive the experimental Minneapolis Moline crawler. The X is it X453 or X253? I don't know. He's got I think it's X453 or I can't remember exactly the model it is. I'd have to look, but X253 is his other experimental. But Matt the Scrap Whisperer is here. What's going on? I'm scrolling up and down in the comments to see what I missed, but Hider C Model T with feet that can walk. What? Like a crawling, actual walking Model T? That's very odd. Cross Motors, Minneapolis, Titan. Actually, in my distant family, we had an International Titan, and on my dad's side, we had like 2 or 3 steam engines, way, way, way back. But oh, you better believe it. I'll be sharing the wealth when it comes to steam school. And I gotta give a shout out to Western Minnesota Steam Threshers Reunion chapter. Um, they actually gave me a scholarship to steam school, so that's really awesome of them. Come on out, come on out to steam school. I would love if I were to get a diesel tractor. Um, I just saw Mike's comment, so diesel truck mechanics here. What's going on? I was actually thinking about this the other day. I would love to build. There's a couple guys here on YouTube that have done it. Andy Fromm is one of them. Fromm. He built a 4BT Cummins Farmall M, and I would really love to do that. Um, if I could just get a chassis from an M, and then a 4BT at a reasonable price, and somebody that can help me put it in. I don't know what kind of machining or drilling needs to be done. So I'm not a machinist. I can't make stuff. And from what I understand, it's a pretty easy swap. You don't really have to make anything. But I know that the stock M flywheel does need to be re-drilled. So I'd want to make sure, that's square and center on the drilling pattern. And then the people have reused the rear engine plate and mounted the block right to that plate. But you have to re-drill some of the holes, and I don't have a jig or anything to put something like that on to make sure it's square. But I'd love to put a 4BT Cummins um, in an M. There's also a guy on YouTube here that had put a Kubota engine in a Farmall Cub, and that is actually really cool too. I think that'd be a fun project, but I don't have the knowledge to be able to do something like that. I would need the help of a lot of people. So, would it be super cool? Hans, I haven't I haven't watched your snowplow video yet, but it's on my queue. It's gonna be, if not when I sign out of here, it'll be tomorrow night when I'm laying down for bed. So there's so many tractors I'd like to have, but you know, we got time. We got lots of time. So an Oliver with a Detroit in it, man. I'll tell you what. Am I accepting live callers tonight? I have a red question. What do you mean? Ask away. I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh, the Detroit Diesels, man, those are some screamers, man. I'll tell you. After listening to it on the Prony break up at Rolog, woo! Talk about loud. Yeah, there's a guy that makes rear engine plates and stuff for them, but for the 4BT, come and swap in an M. But just the engine plate alone is like $1,200, and you can't find a 4BT for under a couple thousand. So it's got to be something that's cost effective. You can't just, at least I can't just start throwing money at it. There's also the 7.3 Power Stroke Farmall M that was built by a guy in Canada too. That thing is super nice. Come over and get one. What, Richard? You got a 4BT sitting out back? You probably do. Yep, Richard's in the house. Kubota D-Zone F12. That'd be pretty cool too. The U diesel Moline. That would be a good one. I'd love to get like a stage 2 Super M diesel, but like I said, I think it'd be a cool swap to do a 4BT, you know. Why do your Farmall H&M sound like John Deere's? Got a tune-up kit to put in my M soon. It's got a mag. We'll see if it improves anything. Need to clean the carb. Well, I'm sure you probably need to clean the carb in it. Like I said, just take off and send it to me, and I'll send it back to you. It could be. Does your M have a mag, or is that distributor? The H, if that's the one with the mag, it could be you have a couple corroded terminals in the cap, or a lot of times I've seen the contact in the coil cover that goes to the back of the cap. Either those are corroded, or if you take that coil cover off, I've seen that contact where it contacts the top of the coil inside the cover. I've seen those corroded, and that can cause goofy running issues. As far as the distributor goes, I mean, if it's got power, it's going to make the spark at every one as long as there's clean contacts too. But could be fouled plugs, could be incorrect spark plug gap. Although, most tractors will run with, as long as it's throwing spark, it'll run. But you just got to kind of start crossing things off the list and start with the simplest stuff. Look at the spark plugs. If the spark plugs look good, look at the contacts on the wires. You know, just time consuming. I know. I hate electrical issues, but you'd think after all this time working on distributors or magnetos mostly, I'd have a lot of knowledge about how to use a voltmeter and everything else. I don't have a clue. I literally tear them down, clean them up, put them all new parts and put them back together, and they're brand new, And when I run into problems, then that's when Rudy kind of helps me and shows me, well, this is something that can happen, and this is something, he kind of shows me the quirks of each magneto that we do when I run into problems. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. I tear them down, clean them out, paint them if they need to be, and put all new parts in them and put them back together. A 9L school bus engine will go in an M. I don't even know what a 9L is. Does Rudy work on old Webster oscillators? I know the magnets need to be recharged, but it needs other work. I can ask him real quick if he'll answer. I'll text him really quick. Is it a magneto or what is it? I don't even know what a Webster oscillator is. We'll see if he answers. I'm going to have to call her quits in about 13 minutes here. John Deere carbs can be tricky. They got, you got to get them long aircraft drill bits to get into some of those passages and stuff. So they can be tricky. What's the farthest I would travel to a show? I mean, if I had the time off, I'd go anywhere. That's the toughest part for me is I work a rotating schedule. Every 4 weeks I rotate my days off. So I take a lot of vacation to try and compensate for that, but unfortunately a lot of my vacation is then spoken for during show season that is close to here, and that's pretty much from the beginning of August to mid-September. But I would definitely, I mean, throughout the summer, I'd love to go to other shows if I had the time off. Mike's headed to bed. All right, thanks for coming, Mike. Good talking, bud. I mean, I go to Andover, South Dakota every year to hang out with Corey Anderson and all of his family and friends in the 150s. So, I would distance isn't always an issue. It's the time off that's an issue. Let's see. Yeah, he says he works on them all the time. No problem. Talking to Rudy. Matt, he says no problem. Works on them all the time. What's it for? What's the Webster oscillator for? Is it an engine mag or is it a tractor mag? Can I fix the carb off your Avery? I might be able to if parts are available for it. Yeah, give him a call. He says he can do it. Oh yeah, okay. Hercules hit and miss. Yeah, Corey, he's only a couple years older than me, but that guy, he is probably, for one thing, he's the most down to earth guy you'll ever meet, and the second thing is he's got so much steam knowledge. I mean, he grew up literally from birth on steam engines, so it's just it's insane how much knowledge he has about steam and his whole family. I mean, and they're so I guess the right word would be hospitable. I guess their hospitality is unmatched. I mean, they're wonderful, wonderful people. So I'm telling you, if any of you guys can make it to Andover, South Dakota, the weekend after Labor Day, go to the show because it is worth it. You'll see probably the best demonstration of steam that you'll see. I mean, Rolog has the steam shovels and all that stuff, but they don't, and the big sawmills. But Corey, I mean, they'll get out there and plow. They sawmill. They do all kinds of stuff, threshing. It's just it's a great, great show, and it's a small town. I mean, there's not much there, but the show makes it. Choke and throttle shafts are stuck. Well, I mean, heat, and lubricant. I guess that would be my go-to, but I don't know what the carburetor looks like. So, if you want to send me a Facebook message and send me a couple pictures of it, we can see if we can get it freed up. Aluminum carb. Oh, yeah, you got to be careful with heat. Then you don't want to. That's a tough one. I've heated stuff up like that before. You just got to be careful. When working on megs and carbs, are we having supply chain issues? Yep, we sure are. Carburetor stuff was really hard to get for a while, but can't wait for Rolog to see Kerosene Annie running and then tried to catch me, but never did. Yeah, I'm a hard person to track down. The thing about Rolog is there's no, at least on my phone, there was no cell phone service. So it's very hard to, I don't know why, my phone just doesn't have service out there for whatever reason. It's been like that every year, even with other phones, but yeah, it's difficult to get a hold of me out there. You pretty much have to run into me or see me in the parade and chase me down or whatever. But I'm glad you like the H because without you and everybody else that supported the project, it wouldn't have turned out like it did. So probably wouldn't have torn it down. But yeah, Rolog is another show. I mean, I always tell people this: if you're gonna go to Rolog, take the rest of the week off and go to Andover too. That's what I tell people. Take Friday through the following Sunday if you can, because you really need 2 to 3 days just to see all of Rolog. I mean, that place is huge. Plus, there's different things going on every day, so you never know. Have I been to Mount Pleasant yet? Nope, but I want to. I've also never been to Baraboo, and I really want to go to that too. But I think Baraboo is might be the same weekend as Now Then, which presents kind of an issue because Now Then's only 15-ish miles from me. So That's like my home show. Still need a B and BN Farmel to complete the series. Craig, do you collect just the um, standard letter series, or do you get all the supers too? Hey, Kevin, thanks for coming. Glad you can make it. Well, we got another 5 minutes, but after that, I got to sign out because I got to go to bed. Got to get up in the morning. 4:15 comes quick. I like now then a little bit better than, I'm not much of a puller. Um, I would be, I guess, if just for fun, but um, my thing is I can't break nothing because then I can't afford to fix it. So once it's done, it's going to be done at least for a while. But that's one of the biggest reasons I don't pull. I got plenty of tree stumps and rocks and all kinds of stuff I can yank on if I need to, and that's good enough for me. Plow days, I love going to plow days. So, oh yeah, Crosby, I would love to see that. Crosby, actually, I was invited to go to Crosby, but like I said, it's if I don't have the vacation time and I don't have the weekend off, then I can't go. Do I have any big plans for the year? Um, I don't know. I really want to go somewhere in May for a little vacation. I just need to get out and clear my head. But as far as tractor plans, get Connor Super M done. I want to try and get the horse and a half John Deere E engine going that Rudy's helping me with, and you know that's probably going to be it for his mechanical projects. There might be odd stuff that I have to do, but that's really all I have planned. Hey, Bob, thanks for stopping by. Glad you can make it. Appreciate it, bud. I'm going to be signing off in just a couple minutes here, so you guys need to make your connections because I'm not going to be the wire connecting in a few minutes here. Man, we're just connecting people from all over the world. It's crazy. I'm just reading some of the comments. Yeah, like I said, I'd like to have a stage two Super MD, but even my dog, she's like, enough already. RM 6105 is just right up the road in Isani. What's going on, bud? Oh, look at that, 745. I hate to be that guy, but I might have to be that guy. Next tractor talk. Oh, should probably do one next month, huh? Why don't we plan? Let's see. Let's plan sometime later next month, after Valentine's Day, probably. Does that sound like a plan? Do another tractor talk after Valentine's Day. All right. I'm giving the dog a quick pat. So you guys oh, look at that. Rudy's here just as I'm about to sign out. I got to get ready for bed, Rudy. You're killing me. All your Magneto questions. That's the guy right there. He is. I can't tell you how much he's got more knowledge in his finger than I have in my entire body when it comes to magnetos and electricity. So, and a lot of other things. I mean, Rudy is a wealth of knowledge. So, what do you need to go live on YouTube? I think you have to meet the 1,000 subscriber minute, which I'm pretty sure you meet. You also have to have so many watch hours per year. I think it's 4,000 watch hours per year. Some people have to be watching your channel, but I would imagine you meet both of those, Richard. So I don't know what the other parameters are that you have to meet. They change things once in a while. I don't know. All right. Everybody take care. I'm going to hit the button. And gosh, this was great. We had, at one point, I think I saw like 34 or 36 people in here just hanging out. So this was great. Kind of letting you guys all say your goodbyes. Connect on Facebook. If you guys are all talking, connect on Facebook if you got Facebook. So you guys take care. Richard, thanks for coming. Everybody, Matt, Crazy Dave, Tom, Jeff, Ben, Connor, Hyatt, Hans. I mean, the list goes on. Brent, you guys all take care. And I'm going to hit the button in 3, 2, 1.